Welcome to the Deep Dive. We explore those complex stories, really digging beneath the surface.
hmm
Today, we're headed somewhere you might picture as pretty peaceful, the heartland of India, specifically Madhya Pradesh. Think quiet villages, rural life.
Vast landscapes.
Exactly. Now picture a farmer. Maybe finished work for the day, pops into a local shop for a new mobile SIM card. Simple enough, right?
It's totally routine.
He presses his thumb on a scanner, gets his SIM, leaves, just an everyday digital moment.
But that's where the twist comes in, and it's pretty chilling.
Go on.
That thumbprint, it's not just activating his phone, it's being used almost like kindling
Kindling for what?
for a huge wave of scams, seriously damaging scams. We're talking fraud stretching from, say, Bhopal right out to Cambodia, Thailand, these international hubs.
Wow, so not local issues at all.
Not just local, it's this global network feeding off these seemingly tiny, innocent actions in rural India. It's happening right now.
Okay, so that's our mission for this deep dive then. To unpack this, how does this network operate? How does trust in these rural communities get weaponized on such a scale?
Right. And the methods they use, they're quite ingenious in a nefarious way.
We need to look at the sheer scale of the losses too, and what's being done to fight back. This isn't just about technology. It feels like it's about exploiting vulnerability.
It absolutely is. You mentioned Madhya Pradesh, over 70,000 villages. It's the cultural heartland in many ways.
A place built on community, presumably.
Exactly. And beneath that surface, this network is quietly operating, turning that very trust against people.
And the prize they're after is biometric data.
Precisely. Thumbprints, fingerprints, your unique digital identity.
And the goal? Just collecting data.
No, the goal is to generate fake SIM cards. Thousands of them.
Okay, fake SIMs. But not for making local calls, you said.
Definitely not. Think of them as weapons, an arsenal for criminals, phishing attacks, major extortion schemes.
And the money involved must be huge.
Billions of rupees. Lost. Traced back to people in villages who had no idea their fingerprint was even involved. It's a hidden danger, right there in the open.
So where does this actually start? Where's the point of entry for the criminals?
It starts at the grassroots, those little point-of-sale shops, the POS shops you see everywhere in the countryside.
The ones activating mobile connections, often run by locals.
Yes, exactly those. Trusted spots in the community, which is key.
So a villager goes in for a SIM. What happens? How do they get multiple prints without raising alarm bells? Is it just carelessness?
It's deception, often quite subtle. The shopkeeper might say, oh, let's scan it again just to be sure the verification worked.
Plausible enough, I suppose.
Or, the machine's a bit glitchy today, let's try one more time. Sounds reasonable, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't necessarily question it.
But behind the scenes, that single thumbprint is captured multiple times, stored, and then reused later, secretly, to activate maybe dozens, maybe even hundreds of other SIM cards.
Without the original person knowing anything about it.
Absolutely nothing.
And these extra fraudulent SIMs, where do they go?
They enter this quite disturbing supply chain, first to local middlemen.
Okay.
Then they get passed on to cyber fraud operators in other Indian states, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Rajasthan, UP, Delhi,
So it spreads across the country.
and beyond. From there, they fuel international crime syndicates, especially in Southeast Asia. It's a pipeline.
This feels like a direct attack on India's own systems. I mean, Aadhaar, the biometric ID system, and the telecom rules, they exist precisely to prevent this kind of fraud, right?
Exactly. The rules mandate identity proof, biometric verification. Your thumbprint is meant to be your unique key. One key, one lock.
But they're duplicating the key.
Endlessly. Opening countless doors for anonymous scam accounts. It's a calculated exploitation of the very infrastructure designed for security.
You mentioned specific demographics being targeted.
Yes, data shows about 60% of victims, the people whose biometrics are stolen, are between 18 and 45, often from rural areas.
Why them specifically?
They might be moving to towns for work, accessing services, maybe less wary, easier targets.
And there's another layer too, isn't there? More direct economic luring.
Absolutely. It gets even more insidious. Some POS operators actively recruit locals.
Oh.
They offer quick cash, maybe a few hundred rupees if they bring family or friends to register for supposed government schemes, benefit transfers, subsidies.
Ah, so people think they're helping their relatives access aid.
Precisely. But while they're registering, their IDs and crucial fingerprints are harvested quietly. These helpers become unwitting suppliers of biometric data. Cogs in the machine.
Just awful. How did the authorities even begin to grasp the scale of this? It sounds so distributed.
It really came into focus with a major police operation, Operation
Okay.
FAST. Stands for Forged Activated SIM Termination, launched by the Madhya Pradesh Police around late August, early September 2025.
Okay.
They were acting on intelligence from I4C, that's the Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center, India's main hub for tracking this stuff.
So a coordinated crackdown, what did they find?
The initial results were pretty dramatic. Phase 1 covered 20 districts. They raided over 3,800 POS locations.
3,800, wow.
Yeah. Linked to over 6,000 complaints, tracing back to about 7,500 fake SIMs just in that first wave.
Tangible results. Arrests. Seizures.
Definitely. 50 FIRs, formal police complaints, filed against 94 operators and agents. 44 arrests. They seized 100 fake SIMs directly, plus 7 of those thumb impression machines.
And did they identify specific areas as bigger problems?
Yes, places like City District emerged as hotspots. That's one area where they found SIMs being specifically funneled out to neighboring countries.
Right. And there was a police superintendent, Nagwanji.
Yes, SP Pranay Nagwanshi from the Bhopal Cyber Cell. He's been quite vocal about the severity.
What did he emphasize?
He highlighted that figures 60% of these fake SIM cases involve young adults, 1845, from rural areas. And crucially, that these SIMs are supplying rackets not just across India, but internationally. He specifically named Cambodia and Thailand.
That connection just keeps coming up. Cambodia and Thailand.
It really paints a stark picture. Local vulnerability fueling global criminal enterprises.
So let's get practical. Why are these fake SIMs so essential for the scammer's playbook? What do they enable?
Well, think about it. A SIM card is your gateway to verified digital life, essentially.
Right. For banks, online accounts.
Exactly. Scammers need them for crucial steps, like receiving one-time passwords, OTPs.
Ah, the codes you get texted to confirm something.
Yes. If the scammer controls the SIM, they get the OTP meant for you. That's how account takeovers often happen. Think fake bank messages asking for details. The verification code goes straight to the criminal.
Okay, that makes sense. But then there's this other thing. Digital arrest? That sounds terrifying.
It is terrifying. It's a psychological nightmare.
How does it work?
Criminals pose as police officers, sometimes senior officials. They contact victims, often via video call.
Using one of these fake SIM numbers, presumably.
Often, yes, which adds to the seeming legitimacy. They'll claim the victim has committed some serious crime, money laundering, trafficking, anything scary.
And then what?
They tell the victim they are under digital arrest. They have to stay home, stay on the video call, sometimes for hours. They're isolated, terrified.
And the goal is money.
Always. While they have the victim psychologically trapped, they coerce them into transferring funds, draining their bank accounts bit by bit. No handcuffs, but the fear is completely binding.
The financial damage must be catastrophic.
Devastating. In Madhya Pradesh alone, the estimate is over 1,050 crore rupees. That's what, roughly 125 million US dollars? Lost in just 4 years.
In recovery.
Almost nothing. Less than 0.2% recovered. It's just gone.
And nationally.
Nationally, the figures are even more staggering. Around 7,000 crore rupees, maybe 840 million US dollars lost to online scams in just the first 5 months of 2025.
Wow.
And a huge chunk of that is linked to these operations based in Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
Monthly losses hitting 1,300 to 1,500 crore rupees. It's industrial scale theft.
Which brings us back to the global connection.
Yeah.
Cambodia, Thailand.
Why there? It seems to be a combination of factors. Maybe laxer regulations in some areas, relatively cheap technology, readily available infrastructure. It creates an environment where these fraud rings can set up shop and operate with less scrutiny.
Sort of like strategic bases for cybercrime?
You could say that. They become hubs. And they use specific tech, too, like SIM boxes.
SIM boxes, what are those?
Imagine a device, maybe like a rack, stuffed with dozens, even hundreds of SIM cards. Often these fake Indian SIMs we've been talking about.
Okay. And what do they do with them?
They route international calls through local networks. So a scam call originating from, say, Thailand can appear on your phone as a local Indian number.
Ah, bypassing international tolls and making it much harder to trace back.
Exactly. Makes detection way more difficult. These boxes are often smuggled in.
Have there been concrete examples linking back from these hubs?
Oh, yes. Police in Madhya Pradesh and Pana districts busted a group sending 400 SIM cards specifically to fraudsters based in Laos.
400 from one group.
And another case involved a gang linked to Thailand extorting 14 lakh rupees, around 17,000 USD, from a woman using that very digital arrest scam.
So the connection is direct. It's not theoretical.
Not at all. These aren't isolated incidents. It's a web. Rural Indian biometrics enabling fraud that happens in cities and across borders.
It's a bleak picture, but you mentioned a counteroffensive. What's being done?
Well, the government response is multifaceted. It has to be. It's a mix of enforcement, like Operation Fast, and prevention.
And the I4C plays a big role.
A pivotal role. They're the central nerve center, flagging suspicious SIM activations, sharing real-time intelligence with police across all states.
And that's leading to action.
Significant action. Nationwide, by August 2025, nearly 4 million SIM cards had been deactivated because they were suspect.
4 million.
Yes, and another 6.8 million were flagged for re-verification. Plus, 52,000 of those POS agents, the shopkeepers, were blacklisted.
Blacklisted. So they can't activate SIMs anymore.
Supposedly not through legitimate channels, no. And the rules themselves have tightened. Since early 2025, mandatory Aadhaar-based biometric checks are enforced for all new SIMs, trying to close that loophole.
But it's an ongoing battle, right? The criminals adapt.
Always. ST Nagwanchi's team in MP, for instance, they're not stopping. Operation Fast is expanding to the remaining 35 districts there.
Using new leads.
New leads, direct complaints from the public, and the next phase is crucial. They want to trace the linkages backwards, who's supplying the fingerprint scanners, the software.
Yeah, and forwards.
And forwards is their collusion, maybe with staff at the actual mobile service providers? That's a huge question.
And the international angle, like that city example, SIMs going abroad.
That points towards needing international cooperation, maybe using channels like Interpol to track the money and the people involved once the SIMs cross borders. It gets complex fast.
So given all this, what's the key takeaway for people listening? How can they protect themselves?
The advice from SP Nagwanchi is really direct and important. Be alert. If you're giving your fingerprint or thumb impression at a SIM shop, pay attention.
Question multiple scans.
Absolutely. Ask why. Don't just accept the machine is glitchy. Your biometric data is incredibly sensitive. Guard it.
What else? Simple steps.
Insist on a single scan if possible. Maybe check the shop's credentials if you feel unsure. And crucially, report anything suspicious. There's a national helpline, 1930, for cybercrime.
Small actions, but they could break the chain.
They really could. And alongside individual vigilance, there are broader efforts. I4C runs awareness campaigns like CyberDost on social media.
And local police.
State police forces, like an MP, are doing workshops right down at the village level, trying to educate people.
Because the range of scams is huge, right? Not just SIM fraud.
Oh, yeah. Phishing, OTP theft, fake job offers, social media impersonation. The list goes on. The core message, especially in places like Madhya Pradesh, is your data, once you give it away, can travel.
Like a seed carried on the wind.
Exactly. And it can sprout into something really damaging far away. Education is key.
So, wrapping this up, it's this stark paradox, isn't it? A simple act of trust in a quiet village becoming a weapon for global cybercrime.
It really highlights how technology is a double-edged sword. It empowers, connects, but without safeguards, without awareness, it creates new vulnerabilities.
And operations like FAST, while crucial for dismantling these networks.
They also serve to empower communities, hopefully, making people aware, giving them tools to protect themselves. It's an ongoing fight, a battle of wits, really.
Where awareness becomes your best shield.
Absolutely.
So the final thought for everyone listening, how do we strike that balance? The convenience we all love in our digital lives versus the very real need for security. And maybe start thinking about those unseen connections. How might your everyday click or tap be linked in ways you never imagined to events happening halfway across the world?
It's definitely something to mull over. The connections are often closer and stranger than we think.